So Mariah, we're back, and I'm just reviewing for you. Your steps are, you first divide, then you multiply, then you subtract, then you compare, making sure that your number that you get after your subtraction is less than what you're dividing, the divisor, and then you bring down. So that's your 5 steps for every part. Okay, so here we go. We identify the first number bigger than 3. We divide into it, and that will go 2 times. That's our divide step. Now we multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. That's our second step. Whoops, I don't want to erase that. Just want to erase my arrow. There we go. Now the third step is you subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. We compare, making sure 2 is less than 3. It is. Then we bring down, and then I go get all the way up to do it again. Now when I'm doing it again, I'm now dividing into 25. Right? So the first number 3 goes into that's less than 25 is, let's see, 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. So whether you take the time to write that step to the side or on a scratch piece of paper or not is irrelevant to me. The important thing is that you're at least thinking it through. Well, this is the one I need. That's the first one, the greatest one, less than 24. So I want to put 3 times 8. Now that was my divide step. My multiply step is where I take that 8 and multiply it back. 8 times 3 is 24. My next step is subtract. I get 1. That's less than 3, so I'm good, and I bring down. And now remember, I'm looking at 10, not just 1, right? And so 3 goes into 10. How many times? Well, it goes evenly into 10 3 times, because 3 times 3, not doing that now, but taking that one and multiplying. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, you get a remainder of 1. So we've only got a couple more of these. This one's a little different because I can't just look at the 2, because that's less than 4. I have to look at the 28. Well, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. So look what's happened. This is the first time we've hit it right on the button. So we're going to put the 7 there. That's the division. Multiply back. 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract, and I get 0. Now I could write that 0 in, or I don't have to. But what I'll do is bring down the next number. Now, does 4 go into 1? No, 1's less than 4, so I have to put a 0 there. And then I have a remainder of 1. Okay, so that's a little trickier with that 0. Don't forget, if we'd had that once before where we had to pull down one number and then we had to pull down the second number. So we had to use a 0 up there that time too. So go back and look at that to see how that's working for you. That takes a little bit more practice. Now the next one, number 9. And again, make sure you are pausing, trying to do these on your own because you'll learn more that way, and then checking it when you're done with my work. Making sure I'm copying that problem right. There we go. Okay. 4 is greater than 3, so we're going to go in 1 time. Multiplying back, we get 3. Subtracting, we get 1, and we bring down the 3. Now I'm looking at 13. 3 goes into, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. Oops. 3 times 5 is 15. So which do I need? I need this one right here, because I can't go over 13. Right? So I need 3 times 4. Put the 4 up there, multiply back, and you get 3 times 4 is 12. Then you subtract, you get 1. And 1 is less than 3, so you're good, and you bring down the next one. So now what am I looking at? How many times 3 goes into 10? Whoops. Well, 3 goes into 10. 3 times for 9. 3 times 3. Now I'm not doing that multiplication anymore, but I'm doing this one. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, you get 1, and that's my remainder. Okay. Now, hopefully, you'll be able to actually look at these anytime. Next time you're trying to do long division, come back and look at these problems. Now, the last thing I'll do is that special problem with a 2-digit divisor. Okay, Mariah, this has those same 5 steps. The 5 steps are divide, then multiply, then subtract, then compare, then bring down. But now I'm looking for what is the first number here bigger than 12? Well, 4 is not bigger than 12, but 47 is bigger than 12. Then I have to think through my 12s. Well, 12 times 2 is 24. This might be a little harder for you. 12 times 3, there you go, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 12 times 4. So I think with a 2-digit divisor, I'd be very tempted to write these out first, okay? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. Well, there we go. 48 is bigger than 47. Right? So we can't use that one, so we have to use the 12 times 3. Multiplying back, I get 36. Subtracting, I get 7 minus 6 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. That's 11, or 11 is less than 12, so that's good. It's only 1 less, but so it's very close, but all it needs to be is less. And now I've got 118. Wow, how many times does 12 go into 118? Well, this is a little harder, okay? Because, well, I see 12 times 4 is 48. I'd have to go up a lot more than that to get to 118. Now, this is kind of what I'm thinking. This is how I think. I think 12, okay, and this is 11. 11 is pretty close. So it might be that 9, either 9 or 8 will work. Well, I'm going to try 9. So I'm going to take away my squiggle lines because that's just showing you what I'm thinking. Let's try 9, but now I'm going to try to write lightly because I don't want to, if I have to erase it, I don't want it to, I can't write lightly on this. But you write lightly with a pencil because if you have to erase it, you don't want it to mess up your whole page. And I used to get very frustrated with long division because of all the erasing, so I get that. Now watch what happens here. I have to go back and do this double multiply, right? 9 times 2 is 18, carry the 1. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. See how that works? If you didn't like to do it that way, you could have always come and done it over here before you started. Okay? It'd be 80, 96. You'd have to, maybe you have to do it, you know, like rather than doing it that way. Let me show you one other thing here. Maybe what I wanted to really do is say, okay, a 12 times 9. I can do this on scratch paper. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. There's nothing wrong with doing that on a scratch piece of paper before you come back to your problem. Now when you subtract, you're going to get 10. 10 is less than 12, so this is a remainder of 10. And that's how you do the last problem. Hope this helps, and I hope I eased your frustration, and you have a wonderful night, sweetheart. I love you.